Hello, it is Kim Malinowski, and as you can see, it's just a bit bright. It's hard to tell if Zoom is going to pick it up as how bright it is, versus how it is here. Eh, I'm on the road again, I guess you'd say. Don't feel like being cooped up on a day like today. So it might be a bit bright reading. You should be able to see the cards though. I do want to say that I do personal readings, and just on that note. He'll be in my office. It won't be in my car. Okay. That being said, you're gonna see my arm, going, and you'll be able to see you can probably see some discoloration and not too bad, so that's good. But I am pretty bruised up. I helped a friend. She actually her chair sort of halfway collapsed and went backwards, and as she put it, she was turtling, and I feel really bad. I'm like, oh, but she really was stuck and would have had to call like EMS and stuff because there's no way of getting out of the chair. It's one of the office chairs slash gaming chairs, hardcore, and was not moving. So that's Kim's story of bruises. If you happen to see it, I was not beat up. Okay, we're gonna start with the wow, you can hear it. Yeah, I totally can hear that. Very well. With the Wild Woman Oracle. Okay. I really like this one. There's not, I mean, like, I don't know how many cards there are. I want to say that like there's 36. Yeah, okay. I would have been right. I would have been right. 36 cards. But they're pretty good to like, especially to, like start with. And if you are not a woman or do not identify as a woman, that's okay. Just like take it as like the archetype or the energy. And if you don't feel it, you don't feel it. Okay, so this is the back, just so that I mean it's pretty. I think I used it last week. I know I did it for a personal reading, so I get confused. Like I did it this time for this one, and it's part of the star reading. So this is for the week, um, beginning the 17th. I'm recording this 3/16/2024. And the Ostara, well, it depends where you are, is like the 19th this year. It's early, just like Easter's early. Okay. So that I believe is Tuesday. I'm gonna be at the lab, but there you have it. First cards that we had was Matoka's Truth Reconciliation. So if there is like a question that you are feeling within yourself, if you need to feel like you need to reconcile with yourself, with family, or with like a significant other or person on your mind, this is like sort of like that, like reach out a hand. If you do not want to reconcile, don't do it, please. Like it's an idea of like, and this can be an internal reconciliation. Like if there is like a breakage, just say there is heartbreak. Well, you need to like take your parts, sort of stitch them up if you can so that they can heal. That would be like a physical representation of like people call it shadow work, but it's like answering questions of what I really want and what hurt me and why. And a lot of it's just healing in time. All right. And then we also have 13, and sometimes the numbers are important. So if you feel like it is important, then it is. Anastasia, self-discovery. Okay, you can see that she's in the woods, lantern up. And it sort of is like the representation of the fool going on the journey. I mean, like, yes, it's a wild woman card, but it's also has the fool sort of a representation of going on into a different life. This one is going into different life within oneself and finding new things about themselves. But since it is the fool card sort of looking thing, I would also want to say that it could be just going off on a new adventure, a new idea, a new love, anew is the answer. I've seen some of the other cards, and newness, freshness is like among the themes. And yes, it's a star. It's not depends where you start your year. I start the wheel of the year, like my day one is Samhain, Halloween, in the US. So it's a little bit different, okay? I will give you that. So it's not quite like, well, this is the beginning. But this is like the beginning of the freshness, right? We spring clean. We do stuff. We get ready for summer. We get ready for like the good weather. We enjoy the blossoms. There's something about it, a newness, a freshness, you know. But every Sabbath I find is liminal. So there is like a death life sort of thing going on. Beltane especially, Beltane and Samhain are my two main holidays. If you ever like listen to me or like read my poetry, it's usually Beltane and Samhain. So the final one that we got of the Wild Woman, and this is just like I said, energies is the goddess incarnate, body positivity, and this is something that I personally need, and I'm sure everyone probably needs, especially, oh my God, it's swimsuit season. Oh my God, oh my, the hair, oh my God, whatever, right? I think I can do like 20,000 different like perspectives of like, oh, Kim's feet is bad. Oh, you get the point, right? The idea is looking into the mirror. Who are we? Now, yes, we can say body positivity, but I have body dysmorphia. I have no idea what I look like. Not really. I compare myself to other people, but I don't know what I look like. So I'm like, I must look like them. Oh, I couldn't look like them. I have no idea. I see myself in photos and I sort of go, is that me? And some of the body positivity is looking at those photos and saying, I look good. That is me. That's not who I look like in my head or what I project, but I love that person. And it's hard. Okay. But like that is like the last energy that we might want to work on. If you don't need body positivity, you have too much of it. I salute you. And I know people that do. I am envious and slash like what is wrong with you sometimes to them. And that's probably bad of me too, but it is what it is. I can't I try to be as authentic as possible. So like there is like the Kim's like dark shadows of yeah, so I totally judge that person that really is so into themselves and loves them. Usually I have a person in my head from the past and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I was thinking about a person that I knew that was very cocky and he he felt like he was beautiful at that moment. Time went on and things change, they do, they change. And I kind of feel bad now because he's not as positive. At least not in Facebook. I don't see him anymore, but like Facebook says, yeah. So we have, maybe I should say it this way. We have cycles too. Cycles of where we think that we are the hot stuff and cycles where we think we're awful. And this is daily by the second. Um, have a kid go up to you and go, "You're ugly." I'm like, like anything can happen. Um, B was really concerned about my eyes because he thought, oh, Kim's been beat up. And like he had me take off my glasses. I might have told the story before. And he's like, oh, your eyes have such dark circles. And I'm just like, this is not the big bag of wolf, man. This is not Little Red. I'm like, yes, my eyes are sucky. I'm sorry. So meanwhile, I now use products. I was using products before, by the way, and he still was like, you have really dark under eyes. Don't do it, folks. Don't do it. All right. Oh my gosh, the glare. I'm sorry. Trying to like angle my poor little laptop. All right, we have Ostara. All right. This is Ostara Tarot. And if you could actually see it, terrific. Terrific. It's interesting that the light just did this. I'm not used to the time change. So like I'm like, why is it like this? I look like I have a halo. All right, so I pulled 5 cards already because you would not want me to try to find them. Um, they don't look like their usual card. That's the only way I can put it. It's like the cup cards. Like it has a wolf on it and very few cups. Hmm. Okay. Well, here's where I get the freshness, the newness. This is the Ace of Coins. I was about to call it One of Coins. So some of that's my bad, and some of it's also like if you decide that a one or whatever is like super important, some people like really go with like whatever the teller is saying. Um, has some meaning for someone. And I'm willing to go with it. Okay, I have some skepticism. I am Kim. I like science too. So like, but so one, all right. I is also on there, singular. Uh, but it's a fresh beginning. They also listed as prosperity, positive change, hard work, and focus. And it's a field mouse. I was looking to see if it said what. It doesn't say like what the purple flower is. So it's a field mouse. In the all the flowers. And it's positive change, a new beginning is what I call it. Definitely going forward, beginning the coin journey. So beginning to manifest. A lot of times people use the word manifest with wands, but I also think about it with coins or pentacles as well. Because like it's the same sort of cycle. All of them are cycle 1 to 10. Um, so it's a cycle. This is the beginning, the full going out, and like beginning to amass their their wealth, their like their abundance. And even like if you're earning money, no matter what job you do, it's still it's still a bit of a manifestation. It is because you have to have decisions and pray too. So it's all there. I'm trying to decide, does it say anything else? Incoming windfall will be the result of your hard work and commitment. It might be time to invest your energy in, I don't know about that. Sorry. It basically just says focus. Focus on what you decide to do. Um, and go forth and like begin that cycle is pretty much what it's saying. It is saying that if you're already working on a project, already have a job that you like and you have a plan for, then to double down, like to keep going, create the cycle again. You probably are already had a completion and now you're beginning it again. So let's say you have one job, but you still want to work for the same company, right? Well, you would just level up and keep going. That's like my interpretation. I don't know what it always really wants to say, but that's what I'm going for. All right, this was a card that I had no idea. Sorry, son. I can't see you, and you can't see me. All right, the sun. This is like, okay, like so the sun. If I keep saying the sun, right? So I feel like that might actually be the energy that we are feeling. The springtime, not just like the sun of like, oh my gosh, the solar. Oh my gosh, I have to wear sunscreen again. Well, you're supposed to be technically wearing sunscreen anyway, but who does? Um, but totally like the freshness, positivity. I've been so negative lately, and I'm feeling positive right now because I'm in the sun, despite certain frustrations. So this is actually the inverted page of cups. I'm gonna revert it, put it upright. All right. So you see that page is making his hands into a wolf shadow. Okay. So it's sort of like our shadow selves almost like we are creating the wolves, we are creating the monsters, the fears, everything. And inverted, inverted, you think that was even worse, but I just found it so intriguing that that's what he's doing. It's not like, I know, I know. It's not like it's any other type of manifestation. Like, the page is manifesting or creating the shadows of the fear. And inverted, it's not, it goes with the meaning of the card, but I really do feel like it's almost as if, oh, what do I want to say? It's almost as if they are seeing that they are making those shadows. They're perpetuating the negative beliefs, especially with cups. Like it's all about emotion and not exactly about truth. It is about creativity, but emotion, water, that sort of thing. It says your inner child likely has too much control. Bursts of temper or sadness may have caught up to you. You should be in touch with your feelings, but it should not control you. You may be frustrated by various creative endeavors, or be unpredictable events in your life. Return to reality and find calm solutions. Now, I'm not so sure. I got that. Try to get it back. Yeah. All right. I'm not so sure I got that. Where it was like, oh, I don't have a calm solution. Ah, I think it's very much, the page is seeing their fears. And yes, maybe that is an inner child, at work. Let me tell you about the inner child. But like the inner child has a reason, right? We learn to survive whatever our circumstances are. We learn to survive. And the idea is like when we get out of into adulthood, and we're like, hey, we have this issue. This is and we work on it. I don't know if all people have this, but like almost like the perpetrators are still in my life daily, you know? And so I am still that inner child. I am still being traumatized like that inner child. So I haven't gotten out of that mindset. And I certainly haven't gone past where the inner child is protecting me. So maybe we're at the stage where the inner child, we need it, but we need to start letting it loose a little bit, be more our adult self. Try to find problem solving that does not include being reactive with our inner child. Be okay with our creative projects that we find fault with. I've been like waiting for one book and I don't know if it'll be taken. I don't know. It comes out in October though, no matter what. Um, so then what do I do? Well, I've already like written to everyone that I need to for the launch party and like that stuff. It's worse than planning a wedding. So you just have to go through and just keep going and do the steps you can is pretty much like what I get. Okay? Let's go to our next one. I think we drew this last time, but I think it was inverted. This is the Knight of Swords. Okay, so bravery goes out fierce, there is no pausing. Just like jumps right into the battle. Oh, it says incisiveness, directness, logic, authority. If you know a person like that, they might be coming in. If this is you and your energy, brilliant. You're coming from that watery, weird inner child world, and you are going full force, baby, full force. Now, this is not the King of Swords, though, so he's not at his mastery. He's not at completion. He's on his way. So there are some, like just beware that the Knight of Swords also, I find Knight of Swords is also impulsive. Impulsive is probably like the best word because yes, they're fierce, but sometimes that battle strategy is back there with the page, the page has, less of that, less control. The knight has more control, but just remember that sword is decisive and it could land at the wrong place and into the wrong person. We have the Wheel of Fortune next. I'm trying to do this so like you can actually see and I don't look like crazy. People always look at me, they're like, "What's she doing?" Well, she is fighting the sun. All right, so this is Wheel of Fortune inverted. And usually you'd be like, oh, if it was upright, right? It would be like, oh, yes, magnifique. I mean, like, Wheel of Fortune doesn't mean perfection, but it does mean that, like, you sort of like won the dice roll, right? Inverted, it's sort of like, oh, I feel like it's watch your timing. Make sure your timing's correct. double check to make sure the timing is correct. Do you really want to do this today? Do you want to wait until tomorrow? Are you going to wait for that letter to come in? Are you going to go forward and keep going? So just like I find it as a mindfulness of the Wheel of Fortune, not a negative card, but mindfulness. All right, and our final Ostara card in the salute. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm probably making you sick. All right, so it's a frog. Just let you know that it's wands. It's a three of wands. It took me a really long time to find this card, sort of like the cup card. It's like, what is it? Okay. Now, it says preparation, foresight, waiting options, and expansion. Okay. And I don't know how well you can see it. The frog is sort of like stirring these little boats that are in the river. And they sort of have control over deciding where they're going. Now, they say weighing the options. Well, that's fine, but they're sort of like creating the options. This is a manifestation card, right? What do you want? Let's give it a time frame. What do you want for the spring? Or if you're at a different time that is taking the season, okay, the next 4 months. What do you want and where do you want to go? As this says you could be learning a new skill, beginning a new relationship, traveling to a new landscape. And I can understand that. I would also say that this is not just the Fool card. Like, like I was really like feeling the Fool card with the Ace of Coins. Well, this is a three. Okay. So yes, definitely manifestation, that sort of stuff, decisions. But I would also say that it's not quite the Fool card. It's like the Fool knows what they're doing. Okay. The Fool isn't just going off on the journey, they're on the journey. And you just have to decide, sort of like meandering, like where's the journey going next? Okay, and it's not the completion. Completion would be like you complete the cycle. I wrote the book, the end, and then I published it, the end. I mean, there's a circle though. Okay, so overall, for Astara with the star deck, I very much see that there is like a beginning, a setting off. And in this season, whatever season that you're watching this here is a spring for Astara. We're beginning fresh. We're beginning new and strong. And we're going out boldly. Definitely with that night. Okay. Okay. I know. You're gonna see me squinting and complaining for like ever. Let's see if I can like put this down. No, no, no. Okay, well, there we go. Well, I was going to shuffle, but instead we are going to draw while I hold poor thing. All right. Now I'm doing the fortune cards, okay? You never know what you're going to get with me. That's true. I'll tell you that. And in need of assistance, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. Okay, so like we were just discussing, like going on the journey, right? So maybe the decision process, I feel like that's what I feel. I'm like, it's a decision. Ask somebody. If they have a problem on our journey, you know, maybe it's time to get some help. I personally need to figure out going how to stay in West Virginia. Um, do I think my parents will agree to it? No. Am I an adult? Yes. Am I disabled? Yes. I'm a disabled dependent. So it makes it a little bit more complicated. Do I have that much money? Oh no, honey. I'm not even allowed to have a savings account with disability. So it's difficult. How do you relocate into an apartment or wherever and start over when you already technically have nothing that's your own? It's difficult. So that's like the helping hand sort of thing, right? All right. bird perched, waiting for news package letter. Yes, please. I think we should all be waiting for those. Someday my cards will go out. And finally, what we all need, the beetle of good fortune. Those are your tea leaves. All right, bear with me. We have one more. And then I'll stop making you sick. All right, pleasure alchemy, right? So this is going to require me to put this down. It'd be really nice if I could, like, yeah, it only works when my hand is up, right? Holy, all the time. This I should have shuffled. Well, I did shuffle, but I mean, like, I should have foreseen. Foreseen. All right. Beginnings, endings. 12 soul remedy. Now, we've already been talking about our beginnings. This is also now about completion, right? Put this back up. All right, so now we're back at completion. So once we complete, we begin again. So we probably already just did a 10. All right. We already probably just hit the world if you want to use the major arcana. Okay. So this is our beginnings on our endings. And this is like the soul remedies. They have different things that they discuss. I'm not going to use a guidebook because I will make you even sicker trying to look for it. Okay. So 12 might be important. And in terms of the soul remedy with beginnings and endings, I think that goes back to both that self-love and self-understanding, and also like being fully empowered within ourselves. For this season, whatever this season is, I suggest that we go forth in crazy like enthusiasm. Or if we can't be enthusiastic, I've been having a hard time being enthusiastic, and just going forward fierce. I don't care how I feel. I'm just going to do something. And it can be small, and that's okay. I have one more card. I lied. This really, really like just like jumped out wild walks. So maybe you just have to go around either nature or house, see like something in a new way. And I found that once we see something in a new way, amazing things happen. Um, you I mean, like, that's, like, the whole thing with poetry, right? Wild things, wild findings. You see a rock in a different way. You see your own rock in a different way that's just sitting there. Or, like, a spoon, and you're like, "Huh, these, small wonders are all around us." So we just sort of have to take note. And it's very difficult sometimes. Well, I'm having a difficult time, but if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. And I do know that it's the same, and I appreciate it. Take care, be well. Happy Ostara. Enjoy the sun in your eyes or wherever it be. Okay? Try to find some sun. And if you only have clouds and some people only have snow right now, I love you all, and I'm glad I'm not you. I don't know. I'm not a snow person. Some people love the snow, and they would be like, "Kim, stop saying bad stuff about snow." I don't like being trapped. It's the only part about it I don't like. So enjoy your snowy day, your sunny day, your rainy day. Find something of beauty, um, especially within yourself. Take care, be well,